What's up, Star Wars fans? My name is Prince, and I'm an urban acolyte. Hey man, in this video, we got Daisy Ridley, the Last Jedi herself, dishing on the sequel saga. She's talking about the fan backlash that happened around the Last Jedi, and she's got some things to say about this next movie coming out, The Rise of Skywalker. So I'm gonna let you guys know what she had to say in her little conversation she had with the folks over at USA Today. But hey man, if you're new here, hey man, this is geek culture with a purpose, baby. It's not your ordinary Star Wars geek culture channel. We try to get deep into the themes and have some really stimulating discussions around these movies, Star Wars, all the superhero movies, and martial arts films, because y'all know that's what I really love, the martial arts movies. So I got to get out some martial arts movie reviews real soon. I apologize to you guys. Somebody asked me, Brandon Bluebaugh, I think is his name. He asked me why I hadn't been posting videos lately. Some of y'all know the deal because y'all come on all the live streams when I'm playing City of Heroes. I'm trying to sell my house, so I've had to take down my studio. So if you like, Prince, I need to see you. I don't like these voiceover videos. Hey, baby, you can see me over on my vlog. It's called My Name is Prince. And if you just want to hear me talk about Star Wars, then hey, Playboy and Playgirls, you just don't want to see me that bad. So you might as well just accept it. Anyway, let's jump into this interview. We're talking Daisy Ridley, and she's dishing on the sequel saga. So I'm going to read the questions and her responses, and then I'm going to give my thoughts, and then I'm going to bring this thing on home and let you get on with your day. Deal? All right. So first question, she was asked, The Force Awakens was a familiar, fun reintroduction to the Star Wars universe, while The Last Jedi was a darker, riskier installment. How does The Rise of Skywalker compare? Daisy had to say that genre-wise, it's different from the other two, which will become clear when the film comes out. It's quite emotional. There's a different drive than the previous two films, but there's a lot of fun. I really missed John Boyega during the last one, but we're back together, and now Oscar Isaac is part of it too. To me, it felt like kids going on an adventure. So it's sounding like before we were under the impression that the Resistance folks, meaning Finn and Poe, would be doing their kind of buddy cop thing, and Rey would be off on her own doing the Force thing. But this is sounding like the three of them are going to be together for the duration of this movie. It's not going to be like Empire Strikes Back, where, Luke was off training on Dagobah, Han and Leia and Chewie, they're doing their thing, trying to run from the Empire on the Falcon, and they end up on on Bespin, Cloud City, hanging out with Lando, getting double crossed. Of course, you let Billy D tell it. Hey man, Lando was looking out for his people. He didn't know what Vader and them was up to. He was trying to do the best he could as the governor, as the chief administrator there on Cloud City, right? But anyway, let's get back into this, y'all. Some of y'all know what went on in the original saga. Some of y'all, you need it explained to you again, because I don't know what movie you were watching the last 30 years, but that's for another time. Anyway, so next question is, there's been an intense obsession with Rey's parents, and many fans were dissatisfied when they were revealed to be nobodies in The Last Jedi. Is there more to their story in the new film? Daisy went on to say that JJ did say that the question is answered. So at the end of the film, you do know what the dealio is. She said dealio for real. For real, for real. USA Today went on to ask, people lost their minds for Rey's backflip over a TIE fighter in the Rise of Skywalker trailer. How much of that was actually you? Daisy said, I'd learned a version of it, but there was a risk of breaking ankles, so I couldn't do the full thing. But there's a bit in the film where you see me upside down. It's funny because I did 95% of my own stunts, but that's the one thing I didn't fully do. And people are like, oh, that's so cool. And I'm like, oh. All right, next question. I got something to say about that, but let me get through this. So next question is, are there any episode 9 fan theories that you find particularly amusing? Daisy said, I haven't seen much this time, but last time I found it pretty hilarious because people were talking about time travel and that Kylo Ren was a baby. It was nuts. The one thing with Skywalker was my agent's son said, I bet you the title is going to be blue. And I was like, how'd you know that? All right, next question. is writer-director Rian Johnson received a ton of backlash online after The Last Jedi, with many fans petitioning to remake the film and redeem Luke Skywalker's character. Were you surprised at all by the controversy? Daisy said, I wasn't surprised. No, it's just a different thing. Everyone's going to have an opinion now anyway on the internet, but I also think it's fair. If people hold something incredibly dear and think they know how it should be and it's not like that, it's fair for people to think they were done wrong. It doesn't mean they were. Ultimately, Ryan's a filmmaker and one person can't dictate how a film is supposed to be. But freedom of expression, sure. So that last thing that she said, people who didn't like The Last Jedi, you have a right to not like The Last Jedi. What have I been saying for what, a year and a half now? Almost 2 years? Man, this time has really flown by, right? That if you go into these movies with a preconceived notion, with some type of expectation of how things are supposed to be, look, Luke Skywalker told you. It was a very meta saying, but he was saying that to Rey. Yeah, you had a vision when you touched Kylo, when you touched Ben's hand. You had a vision of what he was going to do. When he had a choice to do a certain thing, and you saw up to that point. But after that point, you don't really know, because like Yoda said, the future is always in motion. The Force is always in motion. Things can always change. Now, Rey, she had a valid argument. She said, well, you looked into Ben's mind and you saw what he would become, and you assumed that his fate was sealed, that was all he would ever be, right? But she's so convinced that that there's still good in him, that there's still the light. And even when you read The Last Jedi novelization, she still says, look, he believes that he controls the Force, but at the end of the day, the Force is in control, right? And that just goes to say that you don't know what's going to happen, right? She was basically leaving the door open, right? Is there going to be a Ben-demption, as the Reylo, some of the Reylo people are saying that, no, we've been saying Reylo all along. Reylo's endgame is just that Ben is going to be redeemed because of his connection to Rey. And I'm like, wait a minute, man. Now, is that what you've always said? Because you're changing your tune, because some of y'all Reylo folks, Reylo is endgame. Rey and Ben are going to end up together, and they're going to have Jedi babies, and they're going to be Revan and Bastila. And well, Revan and Bastila both ended up leaving the Jedi Order. So you need to check your Revan and Bastila story and not making it what you wanted to be. The same way that people who didn't like The Last Jedi, they went into the movie believing they had it all figured out and this is the way it's going to turn out. And you know what? This is not going to go the way you think. Just like Luke said to Rey, she just knew that he'll turn. There's still good in him. Well, you know what? You're going to go to turn yourself into the First Order. You're going to be captured, cuffed, and placed in front of Snoke, mentally tortured, mind probed. And yeah, Ben at that point had a choice, and he struck down Snoke, and you thought, oh, it's all good. He is returned to the light. This is Ben's fight, right? And what happened? He said, no, Rey, I saw your parents. They're nobody. You're nothing. You're not part of this story. You're not part of this Skywalker story and this struggle for the universe that started with my grandfather and what Darth Sidious did. But you mean something. You mean nothing to no one. You're nothing, right? You come from nothing. Your parents were nobody, right? They were, they sold you for drinking money, and they're dead in a pauper's grave somewhere on Jakku, right? Now, I believe there is a story behind that. There's more to the story. Were they nobodies? Hey, man, maybe they were nobodies as far as this story goes, but everybody is somebody. They had an identity. They had a story for how they ended up on Jakku and why they did what they did. JJ, I'm sorry, y'all. JJ is not going to retcon what Ryan wrote. He's going to, because there's no need to retcon it. Like what I just gave you guys the answer. Were you paying attention? I hope that hurt your ears if you weren't paying attention. I'm not going to edit that out. Listen, right? Like that techno song, listen. There's no need to retcon anything. You don't need to retcon. You add on. You add to you flesh out the story. You've got an outline. Rey's parents, they're dead and they abandoned her. But why did they abandon her? Who were they? What put them in this situation? That's the story that JJ is gonna tell y'all. I'm telling you. That's what makes the most sense. That's what I'll say. I'm not gonna say that's what he's gonna do, because I haven't read the script. I don't know what he's gonna do, right? He doesn't have to do anything but stay white and pay taxes and die, right? And I don't mean that like that's not a threat. That's just, that's the reality of life. Everyone who's born dies, right? We all return to the Force, right? So I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm saying what makes the most sense is that JJ fleshes that out. He fleshes out the story that we've already been presented. We know the what happened, but we don't know the why it happened. You get what I'm saying? All right. Now, this other thing about Daisy Ridley doing the flip, doing 95% of her own stunts. There's been this huge outrage. Prince, I need you to tell me why Daisy Ridley, she's not doing any more she don't want to do any more Star Wars movies. Look, this is the same thing I told you guys about Mark Hamill. You guys need to some of y'all that freak out over this stuff. You need to pay attention to the movie industry, right? Daisy Ridley is an actress. She's not an action star. She's not a martial artist, right? My friend Mei Ling Ung, who I want to do a video about, was a martial artist, competed in the Arnolds, for bodybuilding or whatever, right? Mei Ling doesn't consider herself an action person, but look, her big break was jumping off a cliff as Orana in Wonder Woman, right? That was her big break into Hollywood. And now I have reason to believe that she's going to be in the Shang-Chi movie, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, because I ain't said ish, right? But my point is that somebody like my friend Mei Ling, martial artist, action person, right? She would take a role where she's doing action stuff, actiony stuff, fighting, right? She's about that life, right? She's been to wushu, been a stunt woman, done all of this stuff, right? She's very physical, right? She's gonna work out regardless. Those are the roles that she's looking for in Hollywood, right? So if Mei Ling was put in a Star Wars movie and they're like, yeah, you're like this Asian British Jedi or something, right? Because she's Singaporean and English, so she's Chinglish, as she says, right? She would have no problem with the physicality of that role. Daisy Ridley is not a physical person, right? Yeah, she's played this physical character in Rey. She might do Batgirl, right? But she's not an action person. Look at somebody like Sly, like Arnold, Jet Li, Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan is in his 60s and he'll do a movie where he's still doing some action. Not as much as he was before, because, 65, if he breaks a vertebrae, hey man, he's getting to the point where it ain't no coming back from some of those injuries, right? That he have an injury doing his own stunts now, that's not going to delay the film. That might cancel the film and all the money that's been put into it. So when Daisy Ridley talks about the possibility of not doing another Star Wars movie, something like that, it's because, right? I mean, some of these people, look at what's his name, Gerard Butler. Didn't he do 300? And look at his body in that movie, but he doesn't look like that normally. I think I got the right person, right? Most of them 300 guys, they're not walking around looking in 300 shape, right? They probably got to chisel 20 pounds of fat to get anywhere near that shape, right? Because they're doing wine and cheese parties and and vodka and everything else. They not on that the whatever low carb. Well, they put them on gear and we're being real gear and the chicken and rice and chicken breast and brown rice and broccoli diet, right? And protein shakes every morning and at night, right? The only person walking around like that is Michael B. Jordan, right? He's somebody who could keep playing action roles. But, Daisy Ridley did her own stunts. That's not something she's really wanting to do, right? Yeah, it's great. She gets to be Rey and it's blown her up and she's gotten all these other offers and, she's going to be in the spot. She's a star now, right? She can walk in and get a whole lot of roles that she never even would have thought of being able to get 5 years ago, right? But that's not what she's trying to do, right? And I said that about Mark Hamill. Luke Skywalker should have been this and he should have been that. How they gonna do that? How is Mark Hamill in his 60s going to be able to do all this crazy stuff, right? It's amazing that they did the fight scene at the end of The Last Jedi. So y'all really got to think about how are they going to make that happen, right? How, yeah, you can bring in stunt people, you can bring in stunt doubles. And when they do that, when they CGI the actor's face onto the stunt double, then you're going to be mad. Then you're going to complain. This sucked. This didn't look good. So you gotta, man, yeah, like geeks, some of these geeks really don't know what they want. They like, it's like trying to date a woman who isn't clear on exactly what she wants and when she wants at that point in her life. I ain't attacking the ladies, guys like that too. I guess I should have said guys when we full of hormones and you know, we like a bee, right? We on this flower, but ooh, there's the next flower, and zzz, 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 right? We don't know what we want. We just jump from place to place to place to place, like the monkey mind, right? I'm gonna quit because some of y'all don't like when I talk about meditation, even though Star Wars is the Jedi are all about meditation, right? But I don't know. It just goes to show what some people they don't want the real meat. They just want candy and lollipops, right? They don't want a real meal. But anyway, those are my thoughts on this article, man. Daisy Ridley, she dropped a lot on us without giving away anything about the story. But just stuff to think about, right? That they're going to flesh out, JJ's going to flesh out the story about her parents, how she came to Jakku. In the fan backlash, hey, it's the same old thing. You go into something expecting your version of the story to happen. Well, guess what? You ain't the one telling the story. Somebody else might have some completely different ideas and they might know some things that you don't know. And you just got to let them tell the story. And if you don't like it, well, you are entitled to think and however you want to feel, right? Some people like sticking their thumb up their butt and twisting it. And some people, hey man, they ain't doing that. And I'm one of them. I ain't doing that. But if you like, your thumb smell like boo-boo, hey man, have at it. Hey man, just make sure you sanitize your hands before you go and touch anybody with that fecal matter under your thumbnails. But now that I've grossed the sensible people out, other people, they're just going to go and put the thumb up their butt. They might have it up there right now. I'm going to let y'all go on this one. Hey, man, be sure to check back. I got a video that I'm about to record on Snoke. And then I'm going to go check out this new Spider-Man movie. And I'll record my thoughts when I get back if it's not too late. If not, I'll just have to do it in the morning. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Y'all keep on breathing. May the force of others be with you always.